The soft glow of the moon seeped through the large glass windows of your bedroom. No, not yours. This wasn't your room or your home. It was his. Jungkook, the man you had just married against both your wills, was standing near the window, one hand in his pocket, the other holding his phone. He wasn't texting anyone, he was just staring at the screen, probably waiting for time to pass, waiting for the night to end, waiting for a life without you. You swallowed hard, not knowing if it's a good idea to talk to him right now because he hadn't looked at you once, not during the wedding vows, not when you were forced to put the ring on his finger, not even now, when you were alone in the same room, supposed to be husband and wife. Jungkook, his body tensed but he didn't turn. What? You hesitated, fidgeting with the edge of your white nightgown. I just, I wanted to talk. A bitter chuckle left his lips. There's nothing to talk about. Your heart clenched. We are married now. I know you didn't want this, but can't we at least try to? Try what? He finally turned around, his eyes cold. Try to act like we love each other? Try to build a fake relationship? You took a shaky breath. I just thought maybe we could at least be friends. His lips curled into a smirk, but there was no humor in it. Friends, with you? Your stomach twisted. Why are you making this harder than it already is? Because it is hard. His voice rose slightly, laced with frustration. No need to act like we are actually married. We both know what this is. Your eyes got moist hearing the hatred in his voice. It's not like I asked for this marriage either. Jungkook scoffed, turning around with a sharp glare. Oh, trust me, I know. I don't need a reminder that I'm stuck in this nightmare with you. Your chest tightened, but you refused to let it show. It's always been like this ever since the forced wedding. He avoided you, barely spoke to you, and when he does, it's only to remind you how much he despises you. You clench your fist. You think I wanted this? If I had a choice, I would be far away from you. Jungkook laughed bitterly. That's funny coming from someone who had a choice back in high school. There it was, the past, the reason he hated you. You felt your chest tighten. Jungkook, enough. He cut you off, stepping closer. His voice dropped, each word laced with venom. You think I forget how you humiliated me? You think I forgot how you knew I liked you, yet you chose him instead. Your lips trembled. I was young. I made a mistake. He scoffed. A mistake? You toyed with my feelings and now I'm supposed to act like it never happened. You swallowed hard, looking away. There was nothing you could say to change his mind. No, you don't need to act like that. Don't expect me to play the role of a husband. I don't love you. I never will. You held his gaze, refusing to let your pain show. Anything I love you? For a brief second, something flickered in his eyes, something almost like hurt, but it was gone before you could grasp it. Good, then we are on the same page. Jungkook turned, shrugging off his suit jacket. I'll sleep on the couch, you take the bed. You hesitated. You don't have to. Save it. He threw the jacket on the chair, not even sparing you a glance. I don't want to be near you. Your throat tightened, but you forced yourself to nod. Fine. Without another word, Jungkook grabbed a blanket and lay down on the couch, his back facing you. He sat there for a long time, staring at his silhouette, feeling an ache settle deep in your chest. This was your life now, a marriage without love, a husband who hated you, and the worst part, you deserved it, because you were the one who broke his heart first. Jungkook didn't hate people easily. He wasn't someone who carried grudges over pretty things, but when it came to you, his hatred ran deep because you betrayed him when it mattered the most. Jungkook had never liked anyone before you. Girls followed him everywhere, hoping for a glance, a word, a moment of his attention, but he never cared except when it came to you. You were different, you were the quiet girl, and slowly, without meaning to, he had fallen for you. He never told you, not directly, but you knew. The way he looked at you, the way he always waited for you after class, the way he treated you differently from everyone else. You knew, and still you broke him. Still, when another boy confessed to you in front of everyone, you didn't hesitate. You smiled and accepted him. You didn't even glance at Jungkook, didn't even see the way his hands clenched at his sides, didn't see the way his face turned pale, didn't see the way his heart shattered. That was the day Jungkook decided he would never let you in again, and he would never forgive you. Now it had been 2 months since you married a man who wouldn't even look at you. You barely spoke, you barely even exist in his world. Every day he went to university surrounded by people who adored him, and every night he came home to you only to act like you weren't even there. Your hands tightened around the straps of your bag as your eyes followed him. He walked through the hallway with his usual confidence, completely unaware of the chaos he left in his wake. Girls whispered as he passed, their eyes filled with admiration. Some bit their lips, some adjusted their skirts, but none of them received so much as a glance from him. That's how he always was. From school to now college, he was always someone girls would die for. That's why you maintained your distance from him. His fangirls were insane, and you knew you won't be able to handle the attention and hatred that would come with accepting his proposal. You knew he would protect you, but it didn't set right, and you also never felt much for him. You always knew he was out of touch. But you never knew fate would make you stand in this place as his wife, but now he hates you. Girls were going crazy when they saw Jungkook. You heard their giggles, their sighs, their admiration. But Jungkook didn't care. His face remained blank, his hands stuffed in his pockets, his eyes fixed ahead as if the world around him didn't exist. That's just how he was, unapproachable, cold, completely uninterested in love. And then his gaze shifted for just 1 second, his dark eyes flickered in your direction. Your breath caught in your throat, but before you could even process it, his expression hardened. His gaze turned distant, indifferent, like you were nothing more than a stranger. Not a stranger, someone he despised. You felt a painful sting in your chest, but you quickly looked away before he could see the effect he still had on you. Your marriage was a secret, no one in the university knew about it. To them, you were just another student, and to Jungkook, you were just another mistake. As he walked past you without a word, without a glance, the memories of the past crashed into you like a wave because once upon a time, it wasn't like this. Months passed and nothing changed. You were nothing more than a stranger in your own home, living under the same roof as your husband, yet feeling like the loneliest person in the world. Jungkook barely spoke to you, and when he did, his words were laced with irritation. He avoided you like the plague, always finding excuses to come home late or leave early in the morning. You tried so hard to make things work, but every time you reached out, he pulled away. One evening after dinner, you decided to try again. Jungkook, can we talk? You asked hesitantly, watching as he loosened his tie. He sighed, rubbing his temples. I'm tired. It won't take long, you promised, your voice almost pleading. He leaned against the wall, crossing his arms. Fine, say whatever you want. You took a deep breath. I know you don't love me. I know you never wanted this marriage, but at least can we be civil? Can we try to build something out of this? His lips curled into a humorless smirk. Build what? A fake relationship? A family? You nodded slowly. I know I made a mistake in the past, and I'm sorry for that, but now we are married, Jungkook. Maybe with time we can. He scoffed, shaking his head. You think I would ever want that with you? Your stomach twisted in pain. Jungkook. His expression turned cold. If you think I feel the same as I used to, then get a reality check because I don't love you. I never will. Tears welled up in your eyes. Then why did you marry me? He let out a dry laugh, like I had a choice. Silence filled the room. You clenched your fist, trying to keep yourself together. Do you hate me that much? You asked in a broken whisper. Jungkook ran a frustrated hand through his hair. I don't hate you. I don't want this. I don't want you. Your vision blurred, Jungkook, and about family. He interrupted, his voice devoid of any warmth. I don't even want to touch you. Something inside you shattered. You turned away, biting down on your trembling lip. I understand. He didn't say anything else. He simply walked past you, leaving you alone in the suffocating silence. You had made up your mind. You wouldn't beg for love anymore. You wouldn't let him break you any further. You wouldn't make him feel suffocating or obliged to stay in a marriage he didn't want to. It was Jungkook's birthday. The house was filled with guests, families, laughter, and music. People congratulated him, raised toast in his honor, celebrated his existence. Yet, amidst all the joy, you felt nothing but emptiness. Your parents were happy to see you guys together doing well. Not knowing that was just for show, reality was far worse. After the party, you waited in your bedroom. You were sitting on the edge of the bed, your fingers trembling around the neatly wrapped envelope in your lap. Tonight it would end. Jungkook entered the room, his shirt unbuttoned at the top, his sleeves rolled up as he pulled off his watch. He didn't even glance at you as he tossed it on the dresser. You got up, walking near him while he looked at you. What do you want? He asked, his voice tired and uninterested. You took a deep breath, extending the envelope towards him. Your birthday gift, you said, your voice barely above a whisper. Jungkook raised a brow but took it, his fingers brushing yours for the briefest moment before he stepped back. He opened the envelope lazily, but the second his eyes landed on the diverse papers, his entire body went rigid. The air in the room changed. His fingers tightened around the papers as he reread them, his expression turning dark. What is this? He asked in dangerously low voice. You swallowed hard. A gift from my side. His jaw clenched. What kind of sick joke is this? This is not a joke. I'm tired, Jungkook. You looked at him, your eyes stinging. Tired of being unwanted, tired of waiting for you to see me. You deserve better. Jungkook let out a sharp, humorless laugh. So this is your way of playing the victim. A bitter smile formed on your lips. Victim? No, Jungkook. I was just stupid enough to believe that maybe one day you would see me as your wife, but I finally realized I'll never be enough for you. There was a silence for some time. Jungkook's fingers curled around the papers. His jaw was tight. His gaze locked on you, but he didn't say a word. For the first time in years, you saw something flicker in his eyes, something you couldn't quite name. Regret, anger, or was it something else? I never got the chance to say it before, but I'm sorry, Jungkook. I know it's not your fault that you hate me or doesn't want me. I know I hurt you in the past, and that's why it's better we both go our separate ways. That would be better for both of us. You slowly met his eyes. They were cold, but you could see he was trying to suppress those emotions. I'm sorry for high school. I was young and I was stupid. I was scared and I hurt you. Jungkook's lips parted slightly, but no words came out. I know it's too late, but I just wanted you to know that I regret it. I regret it so much that it's been eating me alive for years. But I was scared of things and danger that would come with becoming your girlfriend, and I wasn't brave enough to deal with them. That's why I didn't accept your proposal. His chest rose and fell, his breathing was heavy. And now I don't expect anything from you anymore. That's why I'm letting you go. You don't have to see my face, don't have to feel suffocated living in the same space as me. I'll tell our parents everything honestly. They will understand. Just sign those papers and you're free. You exhaled shakily, reaching for the pen. Just sign the papers, Jungkook. But then he ripped them in half. Your breath hitched. Your eyes widened as Jungkook tore the papers apart piece by piece. His face blank, but his actions violent. Your heart pounded in your chest. Jungkook, I'm not signing this. His voice was low, cold, final. You gulped. He threw the torn pieces onto the floor, stepping closer, his dark eyes piercing into yours. You think you can just walk away? That easy? You swallowed hard. Why are you doing this? You hate me. Jungkook scoffed. You think I hate you? His laugh was bitter. If I did, this would be easy. I would have signed that damn paper in a second. Your breath got caught in your throat. Jungkook stepped closer. His voice was dangerously soft. You ruined me. Do you know that? Tears slipped down your cheeks. I spent years trying to forget you, trying to erase you from my life, but guess what? I freaking couldn't. His voice cracked slightly. Your lips trembled. He let out a shaky breath, running a hand through his hair. You think this marriage means nothing to me? Fine. Maybe I wanted to hurt you. Maybe I wanted you to feel the same pain I did, but I'm not letting you go. Your heart clenched painfully. But you don't want me. Then what is this? He exhaled sharply, shaking his head. I don't know what this is. His voice cracked slightly, and for the first time Jungkook looked lost. But I know I can't let you go. The room was silent, your chest ached, your entire world spinning. You had come here ready to walk away, but Jungkook wasn't letting you go. You weren't sure if it was a dream or he's actually the Jungkook who hates you. Your throat tightened as you took a step back. Jungkook, you can't just decide that now. You kept pushing me away from the time we got married, hating me, and now just because I'm leaving, you suddenly care? His jaw clenched, his hands balling into fists at his sides. It's not sudden. You just never saw it. Your breath hitched. You think I hated you? Jungkook scoffed, shaking his head. I tried. I tried, but you have no idea how much I wanted to understand why you did it. Why you chose him instead of me. Tears blurred your vision. Jungkook, was it fun, watching me fall apart? His voice cracked and your heart twisted painfully. Do you even know what you did to me? The weight of his words crashed over you. I didn't mean to hurt you. But you did, he cut in. I spent years thinking I wasn't enough, thinking that maybe if I had been someone else, you would have chosen me. Tears slipped down your cheeks. No, that's not true. Jungkook let out a sharp breath. His hands trembled slightly. Then why? Why did you reject me? Why did you accept his confession when you knew how I felt? You swallowed hard, guilt clawing at your chest. It was time to tell him the truth. I was scared. Jungkook frowned. I was scared of you. Not because you were scary, but because you were untouchable. Jungkook's lips parted slightly. You were the Jungkook. The school heartthrob, the guy everyone wanted but no one could have. Do you even know how crazy your fanbase was? Every girl in school was obsessed with you. Jungkook just stared at you. I knew you liked me and I liked you too, but I wasn't brave enough to stand out. I wasn't strong enough to be the girl everyone envied. I was scared of being hated. I was scared of ruining what we had. Jungkook's breathing grew unsteady, so I let you go and I convinced myself that it was for the best. I accepted his proposal because I thought I could be happy with someone normal, someone easy. You wiped your tears, letting out a shaky breath, but I was never in love with him. It was always you, Jungkook. I just didn't realize it in time. Jungkook exhaled sharply, rubbing a hand over his face. His shoulders trembled. You had never seen him like this, never seen the cracks in his armor so clearly. I thought you didn't care. I thought you never looked back. You shook your head. I looked back every single day. Jungkook stepped closer, his voice barely above a whisper. Then why did you wait until now to say this? You swallowed hard because I thought it was too late. I thought I don't deserve you and you don't want me. His breath hitched. You wouldn't even look at me. Every time I tried, you shut me out. I thought you wanted nothing to do with me. Jungkook's jaw tightened. I was angry. You nodded. I know. He let out a humorless laugh, and I was stupid because I should have asked. I should have tried to understand instead of hating you. You wiped at your eyes. We both made mistakes. Silence stretched between you. For the first time, there was no anger, no blame, just two people standing in the wreckage of their past. Jungkook exhaled shakily, rubbing the back of his neck. I don't know how to fix this. You looked at him. Neither do I. He took a step closer, holding your hands that made your heart skip a beat. Then let's try together. Let's forget whatever happened and build everything from the start. Your throat tightened and tears filled in your eyes. You had dreamed of this moment for so long, but now that it was happening, it felt almost unreal. Do you really think we can? Jungkook let out a small, breathless laugh, shaking his head slightly. I don't know, but I know one thing. He squeezed your hands gently. I don't want to spend another day hating you when all I ever wanted was to love you. Tears welled up in your eyes, the weight of the past slowly lifting. I was a coward back then, but I won't be anymore. If you're willing to try, then I'll give my everything to make it right. Jungkook exhaled shakily before pulling you into his chest. His arms wrapping around you, you felt his heartbeat against yours, steady, real, and warm. Then let's not waste any more time. You closed your eyes, letting yourself sink into his embrace. For the first time in years, there was no regret, no fear, only hope. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough to begin again.